If you're joining the United States Army or looking to know more about basic training, or you just became a recruiter, well, you've come to the best channel here on YouTube, but you be the judge. Maybe you're struggling, confused, and simply just looking for the most up-to-date and, more importantly, accurate information. Now, I'm pretty detailed, so please bear with me. Real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Swartz, a full-time recruiter here with the New York Army National Guard by day, conveniently located here in New York City, but on my free time, I come on here to help thousands of people just like you every single day make better decisions throughout their joining process, get better prepared both mentally and physically for Army basic training, recruiting, and so much more. Now, I have over 24 years of service with over 20 years of recruiting experience, and I am drill sergeant qualified. Now, real quick disclaimer, this channel is a personal channel and doesn't reflect the official views, opinions, nor is it supported, endorsed, or sponsored by the Department of Defense, the United States Army, the Army National Guard, or any other government entity for that matter. My videos represent me, myself, and I, based on my own experiences, observations, my personal opinions, and thoughts. With that being said, this is the biggest advantage that you have here on this channel is that I have access to all the updates, current guidance, and I have all the right people at the right places to address your most desired questions and concerns. Now, I have a ton of experience and knowledge to share with you, but I don't know everything, and I promise you that I have enough humility to let you know when I don't know something, and I will be more than happy to get to you the correct response. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram at Team Swartz or email me at teamswartzmedia@gmail.com. Now, my mission is to help you join for your reasons and your reasons alone based on accurate and up-to-date information. Now, honestly, I don't care which component of the Army that you join or which U.S. military branch that you join, just as long as that you join if you think it's a great option for you, of course. Now, I want you to make the best decision for you because you only have one life to live, and I want you to live your best life. This is not a decision to take lightly, so please do your homework, do your research, and make a well-informed decision. So the million-dollar question is, why are you here? Now, I honestly believe that you're not here by mistake. So if this is you, please hit subscribe, click the bell icon, turn on all the notifications so that you don't miss anything. That way, you will be notified when I go live, post new videos, and post updates. However, if you're new here, welcome, and comment down below which state you are tuning in from. And if you're one of my loyal Team Swartz squad members, you know the deal. Drop that hashtag Team Swartz down below. Now, get your comments and questions and concerns in the chat box as soon as possible because I respond to your comments in order as I receive them, working from the oldest to the most recent comments. Now, I don't skip anyone on purpose, and if I do, just type "I think my comment was skipped" respectfully, and I'll scroll back up and look for it. And after all, I am human, but do keep in mind that I do have some keywords and phrases blocked for various reasons that may cause your comment not to be hidden and not be visible by me. If I'm not moving fast enough through the comments, feel free to super chat me any amount for me to immediately and directly respond to your commented question or concern. When I do receive a super chat, super thanks, super sticker, or any other paid channel member on my page, after I finish my latest comment, I will scroll down to your latest paid super chat or whatever and immediately address your paid comment. Now, understand, I do this as a hobby and I don't do this as my job. So please be respectful to me and others within the stream, or you will be blocked. Thanks for watching, and here we go. Let's go. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. OMG, what did I do here? No, wrong thing. What am I doing here? It should be a single person. Here we go. Hell yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Recruiting Ain't Easy podcast. My name is Lewis, your host with the most here on Team Swartz, bringing to you information, shooting it straight, not sugarcoating it, helping you make the best decision for your reasons and your reasons alone. I am also drill sergeant qualified, so I can help you throughout the recruiting process, getting ready for basic training, all the above. Anything Army related you want to talk about, it's fair game. With that being said, I work from the oldest comment, work my way up to the latest and greatest, most recent comment. So please bear with me. Real quick, huge shout out to everyone who's contributed to my mother's Go F Cancer GoFundMe for helping my family. So I appreciate those who donated to
the GoFundMe. It is still linked here in the top pinned comment if you want to help support my family. Otherwise, all donations that is contributed through the YouTube will be given to my family. The only thing is that YouTube takes about a 35% cut of that. So it would be better just to go through GoFundMe if it's for that. But with that being said, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you so much. And where is it? So with that being said, we got a few people in here already into the chat, so I appreciate y'all. We got Young Savage. What's up? What's up? With the hashtag Team Swartz. Says, re-enlisting tomorrow morning for 4 more years. Ceremony Friday morning. Not sure how I want to do it yet. How do you want to do what? Celebration or contract length? Let me know. And congratulations. Hope to see you soon. With that being said, we got LaShawn. We got Let's Go from Anakin Skywalker again. We got Joe Sergeant Swartz. No official terms here. You just call me Swartz or Lewis. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. We got Carson here with the hashtag Team Swartz. And then Atkins asks a question, says, what is the hardest thing in red phase, do you think? And what is the hardest thing for you in red phase? I think for the most part, the thing that messes with people is their mindset and the mental game that you will receive. And that is everything from taking things personal to what the drill sergeant says to you, to being completely out of your element, out of your comfort zone. For many of you, this is probably your first time away from home. And that's a lot to take in, especially as a young person who hasn't really dealt with life stressors. So if you're an adult, you've been adulting for a while, you've held a job, you've been living on your own, you have adjusted to life a little bit and exposed yourself to stress. So with red phase, the hardest thing with red phase is just getting acclimated to the training environment and being away from home, being homesick and all that good stuff. But once you get past that, I promise you, it gets a lot better. And those of you like myself who will question yourselves, why am I here? What did I get myself into? Your biggest why and your backup to your biggest why, to why you joined the Army, Reserve, or Guard, needs to outweigh your biggest excuse. I cannot stress that enough. All right, you have to remember your why. And that's pretty much my gist. And if you are struggling with red phase, just understand that it does get better. All right, just survive till lunch, survive to dinner, survive to breakfast, repeat until you're through red phase. It does get better. I promise you that. User says, sorry, a deep question, but have you ever experienced a toxic friendship? If yes, how did you overcome it? What did you do if you see them every day and if it's affecting your work? Also, you deserve more subscribers. Well, I appreciate that. Although I agree with you, which is an unbiased opinion, I feel like my channel is an underrated channel. So I do appreciate your kind words. And this is a very interesting question that you just asked. And yes, I've been part of very toxic friendships throughout my life. And really quick question, and I'll see if I can see it here in the chat box if you're still here, is do you directly work with them on a daily basis? And are you a younger person entering the workforce, or are you like a seasoned adult who have been adulting for a while? Give me a little more context. That would be even better. And ceremony and celebration from Young Savage. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just I wouldn't involve alcohol because I wouldn't want you to do anything stupid. Not that you wouldn't, because I'm pretty confident that you're a very responsible adult, but I wouldn't add alcohol to it because I wouldn't want you to accidentally do something that you wouldn't normally do while celebrating your re-entry into the military. But good luck to you on Friday, and I look forward to hearing you actually joining. So you're a younger person, and yes, I see this person every day. All right, cool. So when it comes to me and toxic friendships, is when I was growing up, I really valued everyone's opinion of me, almost like a people pleaser. And I really wanted to please everyone, really wanted to be accepted, to be liked. And what I found is over the years that the stressors that I may have experienced with toxic friends is not worth the juice for the squeeze. I've gotten to a place in my life where I'm comfortable in my own skin. I really don't give an F if you like me or not, primarily because I don't give an F about you if you don't give an F about me. Like, if you're toxic and you're disrespecting me, then you're not a true friend, and you can do better and you deserve better. So when you're a younger person, when you're in high school or whatever, right, you're pretty much in a popularity contest and you want as many friends as possible. But when you scratch the surface, they're really surface level friends. And when you leave high school, you're gonna, due to life circumstances, lose a lot of those friends, or you won't nurture them like you do on a daily basis by seeing them every day. And when you go into the workforce, you create or are exposed and transition to new friends, which are like work friends. And your circle of friends gets smaller. And to be perfectly honest with you, let's say you'll go from like 10 or 20 friends in high school to like 5 or less, right? And over time, it gets less and less. So genuinely look for genuine connections with genuine friends who actually give an F about you, that would be willing to take the shirt off their back to help you in hard times or whatever. And to be honest with you, that's probably going to eventually dwindle down to like 1 or 2 true friends, like your true ride or die. Everyone else is an acquaintance. The problem is when we're growing up, we want to be friends with everybody. And honestly, they're not friends. Like, if you're not willing to tell them your deepest, darkest secrets, then they're not really a true friend. So differentiating that in your mind will probably help you whether on deciding whether or not they're a true friend or you're friendly with them or an acquaintance. All right. So keep your circle small and you won't be subjected to inappropriate or toxic relationships. If they're not adding value to your life, then they're not worth being friends. And I would not say cut them off completely, but know their place and know where they are in your life, and don't go out of your way to be friends with them, if that makes sense. Just be open to new friendships with people who are genuinely a good person towards you. And F the toxic friends, seriously. So when I stopped being friends with them or stopped giving them a place in my life, I felt better. And it sucks because it's like, damn, I really like this person. You know, I enjoy being around with them aside from XYZ, but it's not worth the stress and whatever effed up feelings that you're feeling due to the toxic friendship. So good luck to you. It is a lesson that you have to learn the hard way. And the quicker you learn to not give an F about those who disrespect you or using you or taking advantage of you, it's all about setting boundaries. And if they can't respect those boundaries, then they're not really your friend. And you know the answer and you know what to do from there. So good luck to you. All right, so we got Rach here, says, are certain MOSs really saturated with candidates or enlistees? I want to get into public affairs, but I've heard a lot of the people I've heard that a lot of people try to get into that. Yes, it is how do I say this? A popular MOS. And usually when people get into it, they love it and they don't leave it as frequently, thus making it more challenging to find an open vacancy or an opening slot to offer you as the recruits. So in this video, you can watch it if you want. It's coming into the chat right now. It's also linked down below in the description. But with that being said, in the video, I talk about that if you're going guard or reserve, it is what it is, right? You're not really joining for a job. But if you are going active duty full time in the Army and you don't have a financial dilemma in your personal life and you can afford to be picky, as long as you otherwise qualify for this option, then I would suggest, because you are going active duty and you will be doing this full time, and this is something that you obviously clearly want to pursue, then wait it out. Your recruiter is not going to like it, but again, as long as you are otherwise eligible for this opportunity, for this, I think it's I forgot what it was, but I know what you're talking about. I only put one soldier into that position, but if you can, wait it out and get what you want. Again, this is for active duty. If you're Guard or Reserve, meh. But I mean, if you want to wait for it and see if it becomes available, you can. But those are my 2 cents. So good luck to you. Casey says, slowly accepting that I may not be able to commission as an officer, but still interested in joining once I'm eligible. What seems to be making you not eligible? I would genuinely be interested in hearing what your hurdle is, and maybe I can give you some insights. We got the hashtag Team Swartz coming in from Matt Too Much. Appreciate you. FTW. What does FTW mean? I don't know. I can't think of that for the life of me. Thank you very much for replying. You're very welcome. He says that I am the GOAT. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh, I don't have it with me, but I'll bring it next time. We got Sage Lucas has graduated with a BBA management degree. So I'm told I can do officer training school, Army Finance Corps, or Army Human Resources. Are there 2 options available in multiple states or only one? All right, so I'm not sure why they are informing you that those are the only options when it goes to becoming a commissioned officer. If you are unaware, I'm going to put this in the chat box too. It's about OCS. You can check it out if you want. But with that being said, oh, for the win. I got it. My bad. Your fault. So when it comes to officers, when you're commissioning, unlike an MOS where you're signing up for a specific job, when you're going through OCS, Officer Candidate School Program, to get commissioned as a second lieutenant, during the second phase, you will receive a wish list of the top 10 branches that you want to join as or commission as, with the most interested to least interested. That's where you're going to put the officer corps that you want to pursue at the top, right? But it's based on the needs of the Army. Now, if you're in like the top 10% of your class, they typically will do their best to give you what you want. However, it's always going to be based on the needs of the Army. In recent months, we were briefed by our senior OSM, Officer Strength Manager for the New York Army National Guard, specific to New York. The OSM stated that they are, for the next foreseeable future, are giving them the option to choose the branch they want to commission as, and going as far as allowing them to choose a specific unit if they're aware of and decide to go into a specific unit, which is phenomenal. But per normal procedure and policy, you normally don't get to choose your branch. You do submit a wish list, but again, based on the needs of the Army. All right. So good luck to you. This person's saying, I'm praying I get it soon. MEPS appointment in 2 weeks. Pray for me. Succeed all the way. Amen. I will definitely pray for you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Anakin says, after OSUT, do you go to your first duty station or do you go home in the National Guard? So when you leave the training sites, whether it's OSUT or AIT, if you are in the Guard or Reserve, you will go straight home. Within 72 hours, you will smile and dial to your recruiter and or your unit of assignment. If you're going in the guard, depending on your state SOP, meaning your state's standard operating procedures, for me, you're going to call me and the RSP NCO, and then, whatever your states have you do. But I usually have you come in and drill one more weekend before I take you to your unit and do what we call a battle handoff, where I physically meet you or take you to your unit and physically introduce you to your unit and have you in process. If you're in the reserve, you're more than likely going to contact your unit of assignment. Hopefully they pick up their phone. If not, physically go there within 72 hours and introduce yourself, in process, and begin all that good stuff. So that's pretty much that process. So you will go home and you will call and or report to your unit within 72 hours. So if you graduate on a Friday, by Monday morning, you're smiling and dialing, calling your unit or your recruiter or your RSP, NCO, depending if you're in guard or reserve, and you will make it happen from there. JG says, been working on my fitness to get back in and lowered my 2-mile run in under 15 minutes and 30 seconds and my 5-mile under 43. That's pretty impressive. That's outstanding, actually. Out freaking standing. Casey is saying, following up, I have a DWI conviction, but have gotten arrested for a second DWI. There's a chance I'll be able to beat the second one. The only way you're going to be able to beat it is if you are in fact not driving while intoxicated. So as long as they legally figure that out, then you're good to go. But there will be a minimum waiting period until that case is 100% cleared before you'll be able to join with a waiver. All right. So good luck to you. You might want to put the bottle down, my friend. It's not worth it. Carson says, enacting for the Guard and Reserve trainees go home after graduating OSA and AIT. Yes, absolutely. Not too much. Did my question not go through? I think this is the first time I saw your name so far into the chat box. Oh, no, you did make a statement that said for the win. I skipped that. And I also see your hashtag Team Swortz FTW. The reason why I skipped it was because multiple people said the same thing. And I don't want to bore you, and I want to just keep it to repeating the questions. Well, I do appreciate it though, but I'm not seeing any other questions from you, just statements. JG says, if you're reserves, you're already part KMOF. Not sure what that is. If you're reserves, you're involved with the actual unit before you go to basic. So when you get back, you'll get back to you or your platoon in your company, and they might do minor adjustments. Yeah, that's going to be unit specific and area specific. Not all units want you to attend their drills before you leave to basic training. So it really depends on the unit. But yes, if you are actively drilling, then... Why did it just duplicate? Am I frozen? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so you guys can hear me. I'm just frozen. All right, I'm going to refresh the page, so stand by. Can you guys hear me okay? As I figure out what's going on with the camera. All right, let's see what's going on here. Please run camera how to use alcohol camera. Okay. Interesting. This camera just right on. Excuse me for the technical difficulties. What am I doing wrong here? All right, Brian C says, just got a 71 on my practice ASVAB. I take the real thing next Thursday, so good luck. May the MAPS gods forever be in your favor. This person got out with an RE4 JPD. Is there any chance to get it to an RE3? I did a video with Marine 2 card. This video is coming in the chat box. Go check that out. In the description area is an attorney that can help you possibly convert that from an RE4 to an RE3. So you're gonna have to go through that. As I figure out the audio issue or the visual issue, I'm gonna be attacking some of these questions. Never got the contact for the Arizona National Guard recruiter. No, not frozen. Just had to add to the original comment. That's why it popped up twice. Oh, gotcha. Hey, send me another message because I was actually looking for it the other day. So if you could send me another message, I'll get you that info. Yeah, that would be pretty silly, right? Blake Mangum says, trying to finalize everything, just waiting to hear back if an infraction comes up back as 300, 400 level, hoping it goes well. My recruiter's awesome as well, known since high school. Outstanding. Yes, the beauty of live streaming for sure. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Can you guys see me now? Panda Lover says, I literally heard everyone say that you get only 5 minutes to shower. How is it even possible to completely shower and remove the dirt, stink, etc.? I legit take minimum 20 minutes daily. Yeah, well, you may want to practice. No visual, just a black screen now. Al friggin' standing. All right. Yeah, so it's called shower drills. You'll get 5 minutes in the beginning until they establish command and presence and all that good stuff, or command and dominance, or whatever they call it. But after that only lasts like maybe a week, and then you'll have as much time as you need, but it's only going to be like 10 minutes because you got to share the hot water with everybody. You know, this is not your home where you get to take your sweet ass time. All right. So get used to taking 5 minute showers, hot spots, and get out. You know what? Now I can't even click on anything. Can you guys hear me? Because it's not working on my end. The mouse is just not working. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Medicare's unwanted stepchild says it's possible. You got no other choice. You got no other choice. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys can hear me. I might have to reboot my computer. So everybody, you might have to repeat your question once I log back on. All right. I don't know what's going on with my computer. I downloaded the new latest updates. I really don't know what the issue is. Get rid of that real quick. Hang on. All right, so I'm back. Hopefully the audio is working, but I'm gonna be playing around with the wiring, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the hiccup is. Give me 1 second. Let's see. This is not cool. This is not cool at all. It says it ended. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, you guys can hear me. What is going on? I am sorry for the technical difficulties. I can't even switch it to my computer's camera. This is so wild. Please run Camera Hub to use Elgato Virtual Camera. Please run Camera Hub. Elgato Camera Hub. Open. Connect the device. To start using Camera Hub, connect an Elgato device. All right, so I connected it. Let's see what happens. Uno momento, por favor. What do you guys think? Carry on with a black screen or turn this into an audio podcast? No LOL. Let me know what you guys want. Hang on, I'm reinstalling something real quick. Hopefully this will fix the issue. Oh, this is super duper annoying. Hang on, guys. I'm still here. Just trying to un-F whatever's going on here. Yeah. Audio podcast is fine. Might have to, because I really don't honestly understand what the hell is going on. All right, you know what? Sometimes when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. So we're going to make this into a audio podcast. We got the JG. Damn, it's my fault. I messed it up. Ha ha ha. Blake Mangum says, thinking I am hoping to go 13 Bravo, Cannon crew member in Utah, Army National Guard, since I have a family and don't want a super long AIT. I hear that. That's usually what happens when you have a family. They usually want something a little bit shorter. Nothing wrong with that. And it's indirect combat too. So we got Mike. We'll ship to Jackson next month for basic training. AIT at ICE. MOS 25 Bravo. Any advice? Hang on, you know what? I'm going to X out of this browser and reopen it. I'll be right back, guys. Hang on. Uno momento.
Can you guys hear me okay?
All right, the audio is good now. Audio is good. All clear. All right, perfect. So you guys are saying that right there for my Mac users is that I'm recording my screen somehow? Is that what you're saying? It's got like the whole world, it looks like. I don't know what that means. That your screen is being observed. It literally says right there, your screen is being observed. By whom? I feel like I'm being hacked. Should I be scared? Is it because I'm helping too many people wanting to join the military? They want to take me out? That's the Matrix. I know, right? That's the U.S. import sources. Nakin, please send me a message on Instagram because I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that off. I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how that got turned down. All right, so Blake Mangum, I'm gonna come back to you because I did see a super chat and I don't want them to feel offended that I didn't get to them right away. So I appreciate this. Thank you so much, Joseph. Let me put this over here so I can look at you in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. And this person says, lost it. Hang on. Uno momento. 31 years old, looking to go Army Reserve. I'm 10% body fat over the standard, and I want to increase my ASVAB score. Any tips or advice to prep? Yes. You're gonna have to lose at least 2% because you can't be over 8% on your body fat percentage. So I would say check out my video here, which is my Team Swartz fat loss strategy, leveraging a ketogenic diet, caloric deficits, intermittent fasting, and walking 1 to 2 hours a day with the goal of 20,000 steps per day. Okay. That's what I would recommend. As far as ASVAB, you got to study, you got to put in the work for it. You need at least a 21 or better to qualify for the 09 Mike program. And what this program does is it helps you lose body fat and improve your ASVAB scores. I also have an ASVAB video with study tips, testing strategies, free resources linked down below, and some insights on how and what the ASVAB is and how it works, and some tips of the trade, and hopefully helping you pass the ASVAB. So those are the 3 videos that I want you to check out. So you got to get yourself so that you're no more than 8% over your maximum allowable body fat to do the body fat composition portion of the training of the 09 Mike program and the ASVAB. So you'll focus on the ASVAB first and then the body fat percentage or the body fat stuff. All right. So I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you got any other questions pertaining to that, you can hit me up on Instagram. Is the preferred method at Team Swartz. Link coming into the description or the chat box rather. Appreciate it. I'm gonna scroll back up to where I was. Shoot, I forgot to start, so now I gotta look for it manually. Here we go. Blake says, are ship dates based on candidates' availability or when they want you to ship? I'm a teacher and hoping to ship when school is over, but I'm 35 in June, so probably have to ship before then. If you're going active duty, you're going to have to enlist and ship out on or before your 35th birthday. If you're going guard or reserve, then you can, well, at least, no, reserve is the same thing, on or before your 35th birthday, unless you get an age waiver approved. But if you're joining before that, then yeah, you have to ship. But with the guard, I mean, with the age waiver, maybe because of the ship date, they might do an age waiver. Yeah, they'll do an age waiver, but you should be fine. All you need is a letter from your principal saying that you're a teacher and that you're an asset to the school faculty, and they are requesting that you finish out the school year, and you should be able to get a ship date for that anyway. With the ship dates that are available right now anyway, is probably going to be pushing to August anyway. So I don't think it would be far-fetched to get a school date after June anyway. So I think you're going to be fine. Everyone that I'm contracting now are like August and September, believe it or not. So I don't think it's going to be an issue either way. But you will need an age waiver if you're not shipping out on or before your 35th birthday. Mike says, have you ever seen felons get into the military? Me personally have never seen not one felon get approved. Now I hear they get in. I've just never seen one get in personally. So good luck with that. Good luck with your waiver. Infantry OSA currently is 22 weeks. And I'm not sure how long 18X, but if you're going guard into the special forces, it's going to be a 6-year contract. And if you're doing regular army, it's going to be a 4-year contract. "45 seconds, that sounds about right. Watch the hot spots and get the F out." Hell yeah. Plus, if you are the PG, you shower way after everyone, so make sure everyone is accounted for in the bunks at night. Plus, no fire guard for PG, but a lot of responsibility. That is a fact. After infantry OSA, you got 3 weeks of airborne school and then 6 weeks of SFAS. You get selected and you go to Q course. If you got all that in your contract, yeah. Austin said or asks, what is the biggest obstacle faced when looking to go OCS instead of enlisted route following basic as an applicant? I've had a lot of pushback from recruiters. Yeah, absolutely. You know, F your recruiters. Austin, let me tell you something. If you're otherwise eligible for OCS and you qualify for it and that is what you want, you go for OCS. All right, you go for OCS now. The reason being is that the recruiting command is going to take the risk on you. Now, if you're going active duty or reserve, they are going to physically make you go before a board and compete. And from my understanding, OCS when going active duty and reserve is pretty competitive and pretty fierce. Going OCS in the National Guard is dumb easy. And our state is literally like a 30-minute conversation. As long as the officer strength manager who is interviewing you blesses off on it, your packet goes before the board. And as long as the OSM blesses off on it, you'll be in there like swimwear. So that's the only obstacle that you'll have. The reason why your recruiters are giving you pushback about OCS is because it takes more paperwork and it takes longer to get you in. That is the only reason why they're giving you pushback, because they're looking for a quick number. Do not let them pressure you on not going for or applying for OCS now. Now, if you apply for OCS and the board denies your request to go OCS, then you could look into the National Guard, or if that's not an option, then you can go enlisted. But at least go before the board and make it happen and try to get in, okay? That's my advice for you. And that is the reason why your recruiters are giving you pushback. They are toxic recruiters, in my opinion. Zenny also says, I am crazy for wanting a leadership position at basic. Yes, I'd rather fly under the radar. But you do you, boo-boo. But that's awesome that you're inspiring to do so. So I hope that you do and that you do well. I'd rather take the extra stress and responsibility for myself than a fresh 18-year-old. Yes, I agree. No, it was definitely not the battery. I just had to apparently restart my computer, which is weird because I just restarted it today when I downloaded the new software, but whatever. It is what it is. Panda says, do you get soap and shampoo, and where do you keep it? Like, there are no shelves, so do you keep it on the floor while you're showering? I don't know. This makes me curious. So here it is. Newsflash. There are no shelves in the shower. You will keep it in your personal hygiene bag, and you will bring it into the shower with you, and you will put it on the floor. And that is how it works. If you're a male, there is no shampoo. There's no body soap. It is just a bar of soap. Females, yes, you will use shampoo, conditioner, and a bar of soap for your body, but no liquid soap. All right. So good luck to you. Because I can't tell if the panda lover is a male or a female name. It could be either. Could just love pandas. Carson, I'm going to come back to you. All right. I just got another super chat coming in from Carboxylated. It says, going back in prior Army ABN. Airborne. What does ABN stand for? So going back in prior Army ABN, waivers cleared and got 74 Delta contract. I am 35 years old and in shape. Been out for 13 years. Any worries or changes my way? So you've been out for 13 years, possibly no more bayonet course. Hand-to-hand combat is going to be 50-50 on whether or not the training site does that. Other than that, the training and graduation requirements are pretty much the same. You will probably notice a difference in having more time to eat, because in accordance with AR 350-6, the drill sergeant Bible, we're bounded by regulation to give you 15 minutes to eat. So when the last person sits down, when they're done, but you get 15 minutes to eat. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you're lucky, you will be assigned separate quarters. Female. Gotcha, Panda. Appreciate it. And, well, best case scenario, you'll have your own barracks with other prior service individuals. Worst case scenario is like a separate room within the barracks, and worst case scenario, you'll be in with general population as a regular trainee. But for the most part, they will leave you alone once they find out that you're prior service. You're still gonna have to drink the Kool-Aid. You're still gonna have to go through the motions with everyone else, but you'll be fine. And did you go into the Army integration course, which is a 5-week gentleman's course, or are you going back to regular standard Army basic training? If you're still here, let me know. And welcome back. Appreciate you. Thank you for your service. All right, Carson. How showers work for us was either bottom bunks would go first and top bunks would go straight up their bunks, or vice versa. Interesting. We never did it that way. We just lined up and went. The Reasonable Texan says, thanks for taking the time to answer our questions. I'm swearing in this Friday. Congratulations. For 6 years as a 68 Whiskey combat medic, I will either enlist as a private first class or a specialist, depending on my degree qualifies for ACASP. So if you get ACASP, so it's not, well, maybe the degree, but if you are nationally certified as a basic EMT, then they should approve your civilian acquired skills program and be advanced to specialist. All right. specialty 4. Now, if not, and you have 48 or more college credits, then you'll be joining, like you said, private first class E3. All right. Melvong says, dude, if you got a bachelor, go in as an officer. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. As long as you're otherwise qualified for it. Carson says, I went through Fort Leonard Wood, 2nd platoon. Okay, awesome, outstanding. Zenny says, I don't even have a date yet. I'm still waiting for the Army School of Music to get back to me. Oh, okay, so you auditioned and you're waiting for the approval. Gotcha. Might just pick a different MOS so I can ship out sooner though. I hear that. But you'll get to travel a lot if you do go into the band. So I would probably wait it out and see how it works out for you. I like to see your reactions and stuff, but if you're giving you a lot of trouble, audio podcast is just fine. Gotcha. Melvong says, just pick an MOS that you could transfer over to the civilian side, like 25 Hotel, a network communication system specialist. That is a pretty solid advice. Maybe not that specific MOS, but anything that translates well into the civilian sector for a younger person with minimal to no work experience, that is my best advice for you. Hands down. Fable says, I'm going to MEPS in a few weeks. Not scheduled yet. Very eager and proud. I'm proud of you as well. And good luck to you. B88 Mike, for a while, get out and get a CDO. Does lupus disqualify you from enlisting the Army? Not systemic lupus. Lupus in general is definitely going to disqualify you. I'm not sure what the difference is between lupus and systemic lupus. Let me ask ChatGPT and let you know. What is the difference between lupus and systemic lupus? My sister actually has this, so. Let me go see what it said. I didn't even say it. That's weird. Yeah, that's probably going to be a hard pass. That's definitely not, because that's a chronic autoimmune disorder. Yeah, I can't see that getting approved. At minimum, it's definitely going to be a waiver for sure. Especially if you're on medication, you're definitely a no-go. Unfortunately. The Reasonable Texan says, any advice to make it into the 160th as a 68 whiskey? My ultimate goal is to be critical care flight paramedic on a medevac chopper. So flight paramedics for medevac choppers are, from my understanding, is a Sergeant E5 position. So that's something that you're gonna have to work towards. And getting into 160th, I'm not sure who they are, but you're definitely, for the most part, from my understanding, when you go in active duty, you can't pick a specific unit. Not sure how that works later on in your career, but hey, you never know for your second contract. And by your second contract, you should be competing for, if not already, Sergeant E5 qualified, if that makes sense. Carboxylated says going active duty, of course. Gotcha. ABN is airborne. Okay, so I was right. Okay. I went into the recruiters one day and said, sign me back up. Going in Fort Sill. Went there before AIT years ago, but I will be doing the entire basic training there for Linwood for AIT. Gotcha. Well, good luck in basic training and have fun. Keep your head down. Do what you're told. All that good stuff. And appreciate you supporting the channel. All right. Thank you so much, Carboxylated. Mike says, currently trying to join the Army with a felony. I'm praying to get in. I'll be praying for you. Again, I've never personally seen a felon get approved, but if you do get approved, please let me know. I would love to pick your brain about it. Zenny, I don't know how many, or I don't know anyone personally, but I think it's possible. Wishing you the best of luck. Me too. Carboxylator says, I was told by my recruiter that during AIT, there will be portions where you get to select recommended duty stations. I was told that you can enlist up to 5 duty stations, but it's up in the air. Yeah, you'll definitely get the choice of requesting duty stations for sure, but to a specific unit, not quite sure about how that works. Like, I know you can't specifically join and go into like the 101st Airborne specifically straight from the jump. You know, that type of thing. Oh, gotcha. All right. Makes sense. All right. Well, either way, I hope you get what you want. If not, you can work towards it for sure. Nathan asks, how do drills work after OSA? Just graduated 3 weeks ago. It'll be 1 week in a month. In my observation with the combat units in my area, they typically have longer drill weekends. Probably because you go away for the weekend and they usually want more bang for their buck for training, but it's pretty high speed training. I think you'll like it. Zenny says, you're helping with the recruiting mission too much. Leave some work for the other. I hear that. That's pretty funny, actually. Have you ever personally met or have recruited anyone? I keep asking about that. Panda says, maybe some other recruiters are. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. They definitely complain about my stuff. And praise me for it at the same time too, depending on who we're talking about. Do you have any strategies to improve our 2 mile run time? I'm running between 23 to 26 minutes right now. Yes, it is in this video here. Pretty elementary stuff, really. And I talk more about it in the video, but pick 3 days to run. That should be your primary focus before shipping out. You're gonna run 1 day is you versus you, running your best 2 mile time. Hopefully trying to beat your last week or your previous week's 2 mile run. So it's a timed 2 mile run, your fastest time possible. And then another day is a 3 to 4 mile fun run. Throw on some music, podcast, whatever you want to listen to. Maybe one of my live streams. Hint, hint, stomp, stomp. And doesn't matter how slow you go, just as long as you don't stop for 3 to 4 miles. And then on the third day, and again, this doesn't have to be in this specific order, but these 3 workouts, and you can figure out which one you want to do. But this one training style, high intensity interval training known as HIIT, will be the sole responsible workout for reducing your run time. And what I mean by that is you're going to do 30 60s. This is exactly what you're going to do in basic training. 30 60s is you find a slight incline up a hill where you can sprint at 90 to 100% max effort for 10 repetitions and then walk back 60 seconds. So you're going to do hill repeats basically at 30 seconds, maxing out your heart rate and your speed, and then walking back and repeating that 10 times. That is the best way to decrease your run time. Okay. Ian says, howdy, howdy. Go Team SWARTZ. That's what I'm talking about. What does Command Sergeant Major of the Military Police Battalion do on a regular basis? I don't know. I've never worked for them, so I couldn't tell you, but CSM type stuff. Lots of briefings and boardroom meetings and so on and so forth, but sucking down coffee and doing a lot of meetings basically. Yes, you're going to need an age waiver if you're 35 years old, for sure. Hyper dunk. Now, this is going to be an individual preference or issue, but if I were regular Army active duty, the hardest thing for me mentally is the fact that when you're on active duty, your active duty branch, for a lack of a better phrase, owns you. So in this case, the Army cares about the Army. Anything outside of the Army has nothing to do with them. And in their eyes, the Army takes precedence. So whether you want to go to college, you want some fun activities, your family, the Army will come first. You will miss birthdays, you will miss special events, and the Army, they do care about your family, but they care about the Army more. So they'll check the box, or at least it'll feel like they check the box a lot of the times to soldier care and family care and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they care about the Army and the Army only. Okay. So whatever that looks like for you and how that may positively or negatively impact you in the future, just know that the Army comes first, then you and your family, and that's it. So that is the hardest thing mentally when going active duty. JG says, when you take the responsibility for an 18-year-old, you don't give them opportunity to grow and learn from their mistakes, like taking responsibility for one's self's actions and being accountable. That's true. Blake says, what is the best way to minimize time doing things in basic or to slide under the radar? Minimize the time to do things. Take action. Don't lallygag or take your time. Just do what you need to do and be ready to rock and roll. And that's it. Right? Take care of yourself. Take care of your battle buddies, and you will slide under the radar. Don't get in trouble. Don't do anything stupid. Be on time. Be in the correct uniform. Don't do anything that's going to lead the eyeballs from your drill sergeants to look at you and want to mess with you. No major changes coming to basic training this year or in the foreseeable future. Do degress from universities abroad count towards E4? Oh, degrees, I think is what you meant. Do degrees from universities abroad count towards E4? Yes. Ian, as long as it's evaluated for and deemed equivalent to the U.S. standards of a 4-year degree, then yes, it will count for rank and it will be input into your system as a 4-year degree. So we use in our state, FIS. So if your branch of service doesn't evaluate your credentials, this is the Foreign International Services education evaluations that we use. They're kind of on the pricey side, but most of them are pricey anyway. But they will, if it's not in English, they'll need to translate it for an additional fee. But for about $100 within a week, you'll get the evaluation done. And your recruiter can submit it on your behalf too if they have the funding for it. But if you want to do it for yourself for college later on, absolutely. But yes, as long as they evaluate it as a 4-year degree to the U.S. standards, then you will be joining as a specialist D4 for sure. Hyperdunk says, what is the best Army MOS job that is similar to warehouse work or manual labor? So warehouse stuff would be 92 Yankee and 92 Alpha. That's equivalent to working out of a warehouse. But anything with manual labor, anything in the 91 series, like 91 Bravo is a light wheel vehicle mechanic, right? So when you get your ASVAB scores, check out this video that's titled, coming into the chat box now, which Army MOS is the best MOS. It's also going to be linked down below in the description of this live stream. Definitely check it out. I go through a lot of great things that you're probably not considering or factoring into your decision-making process. And I included an Excel sheet on steroids that you can input your line scores and do your own research to see what you're qualified for. And just because you qualify for it doesn't necessarily mean that it's available or that a training seat is available, but at least you know that you have a lot more options than what your recruiter may be leading you to believe. The more you know. You're welcome. Maged, I'll be coming back to you because I just got a super chat coming in from Dang Fan. All right, so this person says, MEPS disqualified me and my waiver got denied because of my back pain happened last year. But after that, I already got clearance from my doctor. Do you think I can appeal my waiver? All right, So anytime a medical waiver gets denied, the only way that you can appeal your medical waiver denial is if you have new medical evidence for them to consider. Now, I don't know what documentation you submitted. I don't know if you went and saw a back surgeon or specialist to go through extensive evaluations to check your agility, flexibility, stretching, and if you can pick up heavy objects and stuff like that and all that. So what I would recommend is that you watch this video. Is my medical waiver guide with best practices and tips and insights to understand the waiver process. But ultimately, you're going to want to see the highest specialist possible. So if you could see like a back surgeon or a sports doctor or whatever they're called, right? Basically as close to a sports medicine practitioner or doctor, physician, or whatever you want to call them, and get like an evaluation done, right? And you want an all clear letter basically stating that based on their professional opinion and on XYZ evaluations, testing you on your agility, flexibility, and all those things, right? I talk about it in a video that as long as you live an otherwise active lifestyle, that you can crawl, kneel, walk, jog, sprint, jump, lift, push, pull, even under heavy load with no limitations or restrictions. You need that solid work, that solid all clear letter from the highest level possible of a doctor, okay? Especially when it comes to the back. So some sort of back specialist or sports back specialist, okay? Then you need a strong applicant statement and an applicant activities report. Now, I'm not saying that you do these things or not, but on paper, you need to be putting that you're in the gym 6 days a week, you're training for and participate in Spartan races or obstacle courses, you're training for a half marathon, and any activity that involves your spine, your back, right? So you hurt your back. So you need to add in there activities that you use your back, whatever that may look like, in your activities report, right? You need to prove to them that you have a fully functioning back. Now, if you had a back injury like a year ago, again, I'm not aware of the extent of your injury and if there was surgery involved and all that good stuff. But when it comes to the back, you might need like a 2 to a 3 year waiting period before they would consider you for a medical waiver. So keep that in mind. Again, I don't know what you and your recruiter submitted, but those are some things that needs to be solid in order for the waiver department to feel as comfortable as they possibly can in approving your medical waiver request. So if you got any other questions, please let me know. Appreciate your support of the channel. Thank you very much and good luck. All right. And you can always direct message me on Instagram if you got further questions. All right, so we got maged, systemic lupus attacks parts and organs, regular lupus, just flame skin, and no medication. Ooh, okay. Still, it could lead to systemic lupus, and that's the thing. So when it comes to joining the military and the MEPS medical, they're not necessarily looking at your, or not alone just looking at your condition now. They're looking at it, knowing that you have XYZ issues. In the future, what is the likelihood that these issues could grow into much bigger issues and then cost the government money through disability claims in the future? So they're weighing the likelihood and the percentage of that going worse and costing thousands, if not millions of dollars in the future when you exit the military because your condition worsened as a direct result of your military service. So when you're going through MEPS, it's not necessarily can you do things now. It's is the juice worth the squeeze bringing you in? Because whatever condition they allow you to come in, knowing what you have in the past, if your condition lessens than the condition that you first joined, then you will be compensated for the rest of your life in the form of disability in the future, whatever that may look like for you as an individual. Okay. So Hyper Dunk, I'm gonna come back to you because I got a super chat coming in from we got a big one. Luis Rodriguez, what's up, brother? Hashtag Team Swartz, thank you very much. Dropping in to show support and got strep throat finishing my credits. If I want to finish credits, you know my situation, advice on retaking the ASVAB, feel more confident and want better score to do better. Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to retest, I'll entertain it just because you've been going through school and educating yourself. But let me know, and appreciate you supporting the channel as always. And hopefully you feel better. All right. We'll definitely work something out. Okay. Hyperdunk says, does NYPD get National Guard or do they need active duty experience? Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you're applying for NYPD, the National Guard helps get you, like, not necessarily preferential treatment, but preferential treatment when you're going through the hiring process. But in regards to getting those additional points to go NYPD on the test, on the civil service test, only active duty time is going to assist you with that. Regular Army National Guard stuff is not going to. So for 2 to 3 years or longer on active duty, we'll provide 5 additional points on the civil service test. National Guard time does not count, unfortunately, because it's part-time. At least that's how I believe that to be. All right. Will my high school record disqualify me? What do you mean? How would your high school record disqualify? Like, did you fail out of high school? That'd be the only way it would disqualify you. Or you were not in a public school and you may have used an online-based high school program that may or may not meet the Department of Education requirements for your state. I'm actually going through that with one of my applicants now. But if you do not have a qualifying high school, then you can do Sophia. And I'll put that in the chat box, and it should be linked down below underneath the video as well. All right, you only need 15 Sophia credits that you will need to be converted into official college credits for $5 per transcript. And I believe there is a sign-up fee for $25. So for $30, you'll be able to get your college transcript, and $99 for Sophia. So about $125. Milvon says, do you still keep in touch with your recruiter? No. I remember his name. I kind of sort of remember what he looked like. I more remember his father, because his father and he were recruiting at the time when I first joined. I remember his father like it was yesterday because he was memorable. He was pretty funny. He was old. I mean, it was different times in the Army, but we're talking like 24 years ago when you could still smoke in armories and stuff. Like, he was an old, super skinny dude smoking like a chimney, drinking coffee. And I remember him trying to impress me. He's like, yeah, man, I use my iron sights. I'll shoot you like a sniper, and all kinds of weird stories that he would tell me. Did not impress me, but it was pretty funny listening to his stories. And, but yeah, I do remember them, but I still don't talk to them. My recruiter, although he was good, it was just for him, it was just for him to get his Sergeant E5 rank. And then he went to the regular unit after it went past a certain time period, so he can keep his rank when he left. Running is mental. Trust. Yes, I believe that. All right, carboxylated. I'll be right back to you because I got another super chat coming in from Canelo. Appreciate you. And this person says, you are the best out there, sir. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for supporting the channel, which, again, all my contributions that I'm receiving up until the 21st of April will be donated to my family as part of the GoFundMe. So I will be transferring everything, and you will be able to see it. Everything that I earn this month will be going into my family's GoFundMe to support them. So I appreciate everything that you guys do give. Thank you very much. In case you guys don't know, my mom died of cancer back in September. So appreciate y'all. All right, Carboxylated says facts. Most of the running faults were pure mental. I am doing shuttle runs at the moment to prepare for basic 800 meter, then 2-minute break. And oh, that's awesome. That's even better. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're breaking it up to every other day. That's perfect. You don't want to do that type of a workout every single day. So every other day, that's perfect. How do these tariffs affect us being enlisted? It has zero impact on you being enlisted. You're Gucci. Carlos says, my first time around, I wax. Not sure what that means, but all right. Then he says, can you share a little bit what you first 100 yards was like? I'm only able to find a bunch of shark attack videos. So when you're watching those shark attack videos, that's what I personally went through back in 2001. Me personally, I've never been through the first 100 yards, so I can't tell you what it's like. But I do know and hear that it's physically demanding, probably more so than the shark attack. The shark attack was like, oh my God. But the first 100 yards it's longer and you're working out longer. So it's more physically demanding, if that makes sense. And no, they do not. JG says, to the guy 68 whiskey wanted to go, okay, not for me. Carlos says, the first time around, I was one of my drill sergeant's favorite privates. This time, I'm going to make sure he knows me for all the right reasons. And that's a good goal to have. That's a very good goal to have. Be honest. You don't have to say be honest. I'm always going to be honest here. Just understand, though, that I am currently still serving, so I can only share to a certain point without being in trouble. So I am sometimes filtered to an extent, but I'm always going to be honest with you. And have I ever regretted joining? Good question. And I'm glad that you asked that. There are going to be moments throughout your military career where you will question whether or not you still want to be here. So if you do find out when you join, the reasons to why you join are not going to be the same reasons why you stay. So for me, I have 24 years of service to date. I am eligible for both reserve and active duty retirement. My current contract ends next year. My intent is I don't love it, not because I hate it. I am burnt out as a recruiter, and I don't see myself doing anything else within the Army in my local area. I do have thoughts of maybe reverting back to part-time so I can go work out of an aviation unit just because that looks interesting to me. Or maybe to a public affairs office to get some camera time and get some skill set that way as a part-time soldier. But to date, I've never, ever regretted my decision to serve. You will have some good days. You will have some not so good days. But at the end of the day, overall, this has been the best decision I have ever made. Now, out of high school, I was 19 years old as a senior, in a small town in downstate New York. I was a local fireman from my local town, and I like helping people. It's one of the reasons why I was a volunteer fireman. And the National Guard resonated with me. So that is why I chose the National Guard, because of the community aspect of it. But with that being said, I have never, ever regretted myself or regretted my decision to serve. Hopefully you will feel the same way, but like anything, you won't know until you try something. And with technology the way it is and how life is, it is reasonably expected that we're all going to live to be 100 years old. So between 2 to 6 years worth of your contract is literally 2 to 6 years, 2 to 6% of your overall life. My suggestion is that you serve for at least one contract, whatever that may look like to you. Whether if you're going active duty for a minimum 2.5 years, or maxing out at 4 years for your initial contract, or in the Guard for 3 to 6 years. There is a lot to learn, a lot to experience. And especially if you're a younger person, you will mature faster. You will be exposed to things that you probably, for many of you, won't otherwise be subjected to. There's a lot to gain to serving your country. So if this is something that you have a desire to do, I implore you to do your research and to make an informed decision. And because if you're worried about making a mistake, my suggestion is not to go active duty full time. Go Guard or Reserve. Get the same exact training. Get your feet wet. See if you like it. And if you do, and then you see yourself going active duty full time later on, by all means, go active duty full time after the fact. Because you can always upgrade from part-time to full-time, but you cannot go full-time regular Army and be like, whoa, I made a mistake. Can I go part-time instead and finish out my contract? Because it's not going to work that way. You're going to have to finish out your active duty contract and then get out at the end of your contract. So good question. Appreciate it. And thank you for that. You're very welcome, Panda. JG says, not sure if you saw, but I resent the email. Yeah, during my live stream, I have not seen it, but I'll definitely check my email and get back to you tomorrow for sure. 11 Bravo to SF. Gotcha. Oh, JG, do me a favor. If you didn't do this already, I need to know what zip code you live in so I can help narrow a recruiter in your area that I feel comfortable with, okay? This person says, how does basic training work for people who want to join the reserve? Like, how would expenses be handled for my household? Been thinking about joining for a while. Now, I don't know if you're married and you trust your significant other or your spouse, but I actually cover that in this video in detail. But basically setting up auto pay. And that's how I would recommend it, setting up auto pay. And if you want to know what you get paid and all that good stuff, I have I got a video on how you get paid and all that stuff. And use the link in the description to check out the current rates for your rank, because there's been a 20% raise this fiscal year from when I recorded that video last year. All right. Vincent says, going to basic in July for infantry, trying to get on Joint Task Force Empire Shield when I get back. How long can I expect to wait before getting on? For Joint Task Force Empire Shield specifically, plan on it being 6 months or so before you get on it. Now, if you come back from training and we have the prison mission still going on, then you could definitely do that. But as far as Joint Task Force, it could take up to 6 months, give or take, to get onto the mission, because you'll still go through the hiring process. You go to the pistol range, get qualified with your pistol and all that good stuff. And yeah, so as people leave the mission, they bring new people on. So they create an OML, Order of Merit list. And as people leave, people will come on. Panda Lover, I love it. Appreciate you. Loha says, would transitioning to the United States Marine Corps after completing a 3-year contract with the arms be a beneficial career move? Well, that's going to be a personal question for yourself on whether or not it would be worth it to you. So just expect that even if you made it to Specialist E4 or even Sergeant E5 in your first contract within the Army, when you go to the Marine Corps, don't be surprised if they tell you that you're going to have to reduce in rank to a E3, whatever that equivalent name for their rank as an E3 is. I think it's corporal or lance corporal. So that might be a hard pill to swallow. And you're going to have to do their basic training or boot camp, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's like, I was a staff sergeant at the time, and I wanted to scratch an itch and switch to the Marine Corps just for shits and giggles. And as a staff sergeant, they were like, yeah, man, you're going to have to reduce to an E3. And I'm like, yeah, go F yourself. I'm not doing that. Have a good day. So, yeah, just word to the wise. Yama Grizzly says, do I need to go back to MEPS to have an airborne physical done for 18X Special Forces contract? I went to MEPS last month and passed, but did not have airborne physical. Do I need to go back to MEPS? You might, depending on your age. Yeah, it's just getting the finger up the poop chute, making sure your prostate's good. That's the only difference in the medical exam that I know, and making sure that you're not colorblind. Joseph asks, how will deployment work for a reservist? I'm not sure how long their deployments are, but expect that if you do ever get deployed, that you'll be gone for 9 to 12 months. As far as how it works specifically, like, what are you asking me specifically? What do you mean how? Like, what do you want to know? Like how does it work? How, like, in what way? Like, thank you. Infinite Flash says, I had my appendix removed 2 years ago. The surgeon noticed I had 2 hernias during the operation, but didn't repair them. They rarely bother me and would have to get them repaired before I join. So if you've expressed that your hernias bothered you, yes, then I would suggest that you go and get them fixed, and understand that you won't be able to rejoin or attempt to join again until 6 months after that surgery. And then you can be able to join once you get that all clear letter. Vibes Connor says, Swartz, it's been a bit, but my situation is crappy and would like to talk with you one-on-one to figure something out. Yeah, sure. Send me a DM on Instagram. Shooting in the chat box now. It's also linked down below in the description area. We'll talk. Hyper Donut. Is that what it is? Hang on. Hyper Dunk says, was also wondering if I joined the Army National Guard, would I be able to keep my job in the union? Specifically, it's a New York City union, and I would love to have been in the National Guard before the union. Yes, you're protected by federal law, so you're good to go. You're Gucci. And if you need a recruiter, I know a guy that can help you out with that. So let's have some dialogue, and we'll talk about it. Let me know. But yeah, you're protected by federal law, ESGR. I think it's .mil. I think. Just Google. If that link doesn't work, ESGR.mil. Actually, you know what? Let me see if it works on my computer. www.esgr.mil. Because I don't know if it's .gov or .mil. Why is it taking so long? All right, yeah, it is .mil. So ESGR stands for the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, and that will list the employers and the employees' rights and your rights to reemployment to your civilian job, to include your union. The absolute worst case scenario is that they can make you go through the hiring process, but at the end of the day, whatever that hiring process looks like. They have to give you the same job or a similar job with similar responsibilities with the same, if not more pay than when you had left, even if they hire somebody in your place. And that is, my friend, the federal law. So Kaspersky, no, we do not use a shark attack. The infantry uses the first 100 yards and everybody else uses a variation version of that at their location. Are you able to shave your legs in basic? Unfortunately, you're going to look like Sasquatch. Whatever they do it, however they do it. But yeah, bushy eyebrows, hairy ass legs. Yeah. You're not there to meet your soulmate. That's for sure. No battle booze for you. But once you get to AIT, then you can shave. But in basic, everyone's going to look like trash. Or a hot mess. Blake says, do drill sergeant treats E4s differently than E1s in basic? No, you are all equally worthless. Hashtag I'm just saying. If you know, you know. Robert says, now I have Sergeant First Class Bernardo as my recruiter, and she is the best. We are going Monday to MEPS to sign my active duty contract, number 2 of 2. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Real quick, Robert, if you're still here in the stream, which I hope you are, let me know. Did you meet Sergeant Bernardo because of my live stream, or did you find her on your own and you just happened to be following me on YouTube at the same time? Let me know. Appreciate that. And Panda Lover says, thanks, Sergeant. Appreciate you replying. As always, of course, appreciate you tuning in. This person says, I don't think I want to live to be 100. I hear you on that one. That's for sure. I mean, if I have no quality of life, like if I can't wipe my own arse or have my own individual independence, when that time comes and I'm on my deathbed, like, do not resuscitate. Do not, like, again, if I'm living like a vegetable, I have no place on this earth. Let God do his thing. And if he decides to take me up to heaven, by all means, take me to heaven, because I don't want to stay here if that is the case. So I definitely agree with that. I mean, that's just my 2 cents when it comes to death and being old. JM Studio says, thank you for helping me and motivating me to join the military. I got through the Air Force Basic in February and finished tech school next month. Out freaking standing. Hua freaking Luya. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. JG, let me take a photo of that. I asked you to email it to me. But I got you, man. Appreciate you. All right, got it. All right. Zenny says, wish I joined when I was 18, was just so misinformed about the military because of all my friends in high school hated it. 24. Man, you act like you old as dirt. You're just 24 years old. You're a baby. Perfect age to get in, actually, in my opinion, but itching to get into basic already. I hear that. Careful what you wish for. Blake Mangum says, finger up the poop chute. Is that for everyone? No, it's not for everybody. Finger in the poop chute is for airborne school and airborne school only, unless there is a compelling reason. But at MEPS, it's usually, as far as I know, it's just a visual at MEPS, unless you're doing an airborne medical, and that requires a finger up the poop chute to check your prostate. Otherwise, yeah. This person says, oops, you might kind of smell a little too, but it's okay. I hear that. Workbench Studio says, planning OCS, scored a 75 in the ASVAB, and has some coding courses done anyway to see what branches might be opening before signing, aiming for cyber or engineering. No, again, it's determined by the Army somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd phase of OCS. It's not in your contract. So no, unfortunately, as far as I know, there's no way. But if you ever are able to speak to an OSM, Officer Strength Manager, they could probably tell you which ones are generally full, I guess. But there's no way for a regular recruiter to know, in my opinion. I'm funny. I'm glad you think so. I think I'm just corny. Appreciate that though. Robert says both your live stream and YouTube. So thanks to you. I went to her. She not. Oh, okay. Both. Oh, okay. I went to her. She knocked out everything in 1 week. Then took 3 weeks to my older recruiter. Ah, I see. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. So when you say both, you mean like you met or you came onto my channel when I was interviewing her or doing a live stream with her, or you met her and was watching me, whatever, it doesn't matter. But either way, I'm just glad that you're joining, that she's knocking it out as soon as possible and helping you get your W. That's awesome. Zenny says, got 1 foot in the grave already, son. I'm old. Nah, you're a young chickling, man. You're young, man. Hyper says, what waiver needed separation code, JGA and RA code 3? I'm not sure what you did. It really depends on your discharge packet and the narrative reason for separation. If it was misconduct, again, whatever your disqualifying issue was at the time that you got prematurely discharged is what you would need a waiver for. Let me come back to you, Panda, because I think I got a super chat from, oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, I think I did, but how did I miss that? Kevin, my apologies. I think I missed it. I see here on my iPad, but I whatever. I apologize. I didn't go to you, and appreciate the support to the channel. So I am doing that now. So thank you. My bad, your fault. Let's see. Panda says 20 and felt it was late. I hear that, but trust me, you guys are young ducklings. Workbench, you're very welcome. Carboxylator says 35 and going back in. It's never too late. Fort Sill just broke the record, signing a 49-year-old to basic waivers for everything. Ha. So the 49-year-old to basic at Fort Sill, was that for a non-prior service applicant or a prior service applicant? I'm really curious to know, because the record actually is 59 years old of a prior service member who only needed 1 year to retire. And he actually ended up having to redo basic training and to serve in the same unit as his son, believe it or not. It happened like a few summers ago. Or it could be longer than that because I've been around for so long. Hashtag I'm just saying, I'm old as dirt. Zenny says, do you have any sort of merch or allowed things that we can keep with us once we're enlisted? Your channel seems such a big help in the process. Well, I appreciate your kind words. And yeah, if you look in the community tab, I do have a merch store of some frivolous stuff, probably nothing that you would want, but I do have a merch store, and it's located somewhere below this video, I think, or it should be, or somewhere on the community tab maybe. But I do have a merch store. I don't know if there's anything in there that you would want, but I do have stickers and stuff that are low cost. In my opinion, I'm actually wearing one of the shirts now. I don't know if you can see it. It's on my channel. It says recruiting ain't easy with the hashtag Team Swartz. This hoodie's on there, kind of expensive, but not making much off of it. It's something through YouTube. Turned it on just because I'm able to, but if you get it, appreciate it. I don't know if you'll like it, but it's cool if you do. If you do, tag me in it. I'll share it. I don't think anyone's ever bought a t-shirt or a sweatshirt from my channel, and it's been on for at least a year. But I do appreciate you, and thank you for your kind words. Robert says it's when you were interviewing her. Oh, perfect. Even better. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. El Chovy says going to MEPS on Monday and might get disqualified because I'm on the heavier side. I do have a lot of muscle though. Then you should be fine. Should be good to go. Blake says, is it easy to get an age waiver, and how long does it typically set everything back? Do different waivers take different times to process? Yes, it depends on the waiver. Age waivers typically are pretty quick unless it's a DMPM national level waiver. That can take a little bit extra time, but a minor waiver of like 43 or less should take no more than 2 to 4 weeks. I got 84 on my PyCat. Curious if there was MOSs that only available to 93 plus. Your overall grade has nothing to do for the most part of what job skills you're going to qualify for. Check out my video here that will describe everything to you so you understand everything. And if you have your line scores, a copy of your line scores, open up that spreadsheet through Google Sheets, and it will calculate and let you know what job skills you're pre-qualified for solely on your test scores and not factoring in citizenship, driver's license, clearance eligibility, and so on and so forth. The video will break it down for you. Inakin says, 23, I thought I was old for the Army. Nope, you are young. Even this young whippersnapper right here, Ian Klopper at 29 years old, joining. You're still young. You're still young in the game. Carboxylated says, that's wild. I'm not sure about the 49-year-old at SIL, but 59 is purely insanity. Hell yeah. Terry Para says, my recruiter today for the first time at 28, never enlisted before. Outstanding. Welcome to the grind. Hopefully you get your win. May the MEPS gods forever be in your favor. And hell yeah. Make it happen. All right, so Blake says, where is the best place to do basic? Do you get to choose? Oops, hang on. If I go 13 Bravo, would everything be at Fort Sill? Yes, it would be at Fort Sill. So your job training is always going to be site specific. And if you go in combat arms, it will be all at that one location. But if you're doing a combat support MOS or job skill, then basic training will be done at one location, and your AIT, your advanced individual training for the job that you signed up for, will be at an alternate site with different drill sergeants and different group of people. Sierra Johnson says, how long does it take to get out of the delayed entry program? Typically 30 to 45 days or less to get discharged from the DEP program. Why are you looking to get discharged? Let me know. Holler at me. Dan says, friends in the Marine Corps, they tried to sign me up, but they are too crazy for enough, fit enough, and ready to go soon. All right, cool. Welcome to the Army. And going back to the Marine Corps, yes, they are unique individuals. That's all I'm going to say. Unique individuals. Super proud. So Yama Grizzly says, what happens to infantry OSUT during the holidays? It doesn't matter if you're in OSUT, any Army school that you're in for initial entry training, to include airborne, air assault, special forces, any OCS, any Army school ceases training around the 18th of December through around the 1st of January. It's called Exodus or holiday block leave. And I have a video if you want to watch it. It's coming into the chat box. It might be in the description, but that will be everything and anything that you want to know about holiday block leave around that time frame. It stops. So you can stay there or go home, but either way, you're off and that's it. Miles says, if I have 48 approved college credits from Sophia, can I start as an E3 when joining in the Army? Yes, as long as they're converted into an official college transcript as described in my video here talking about the Sophia credits, then yes. You'll be joining as an E3 as long as they convert into the official college transcripts. Danny says, I still can't believe I got cleared at MEPS. No waivers needed. My recruiter and I were putting a whole packet together thinking I'd get disqualified for prior depression, anxiety, and history. If your recruiter didn't list it and they didn't see it and it's not in your record, then that's probably how they didn't ask you about it. So there's that. Hopefully you listed it. Terry Para says, thank you, sir. I'm going in for 88 Mike, which is motor transport operator. Any advice? All my advice is going to be in this video on how to prepare for basic, mentally, physically, financially, family, all kinds of different things. So definitely go check that out. But at the end of the day, it's all about showing up on time, which is 15 minutes early, being in the correct uniform, having a positive attitude, making the best of the opportunity that's in front of you. Remember your why. Don't take what the drill sergeant say to you personally, and always do your best. All right, and don't find a battle boo. Do not get into a fight. Is Fort Moore the hardest basic? No. Whether or not basic training or OSA is perceived to be hard is all in your mind and what you make of it. Sierra Johnson said, I regret the branch I'm joining. So you joined active duty or reserve. Did you, when you say regret, as in like the Army altogether, or did you prefer to go guard instead? I'm really curious. This person says it's legit cult, but it's a beautiful thing. Zenny says, I tried convincing this guy at MEPS to cover down at the Army side. He was Air Force and said his recruiter barely talked to him. Oh, gotcha. Carboxylator says, I'm so excited to get back in. Civilian life has been brutal. Learned a lot though, but very eager to ship off to basic and get to the duty station. Well, good luck to you. It was listed. I spoke to the doctor about it. Oh, okay. So it must have been a minor thing. So you're good. And there was probably like no medications involved, I'm assuming. And maybe it was over. So you got to understand, when it comes to MEPS, there is like a set standard on what's acceptable and not. Some MEPS CMOs or chief medical officers are super duper strict. Others are way too loose. And then you got the ones that follow it to the T in accordance with the guidance that they received. So what it sounds like is maybe you had a MEPS CMO who was very forgiving and understanding and push you through anyway. Or maybe you sold yourself really well. Either way, you were vibing and you got the W, and that's all that matters. And yes, he is the GOAT. When joining the U.S. Army, what rank do you have to wait to live off base? It's going to be post specific, military post specific, but usually E5 or E6 and above. Unless you get married, and then you can live on or off post. Terry says, thank you. We'll take your advice. I can get. Awesome. Sierra Johnson says, I was joining the Navy, but I really want to be in the Army as active duty. Hell yeah. I don't blame you on that one. No way you could put me in a ship. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with the Navy, especially anyone here who is going Navy. And whenever somebody says something like I'm saying, it's based on my value system, my preferences, and what I want to do. So I don't want to discourage anyone from going to the Navy, but for me, it's like when you go Navy and you're on a ship for 6 to 12 months, it's like equivalent to being in a tree fort. And that's it. Like, there's only so many places you can go on a ship. And from my understanding, based on conversation I've had with people in the Navy, if you're not on the surface of the ship, like, you barely see daylight. And that can mess with people, especially when you're out in the sea for long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? So like Zenny said, Army strong all day, every day. Go guard, baby. But I don't blame you. Follow your dreams. Carboxylator says Salt Lake City MEPS is very strict. So is Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, New York. Blake says, do you get to have conversations with the doctor and explain the things that MEPS? Yes, they're going to ask you questions, and you are going to have some dialogue with them. I pretty much just said it. Super duper strict. Full shizzle. No offense, but I hate our MEPS. Kool-Aid Mankill, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Can I join Airborne, and is it worth the money? Airborne is just jumping out of an airplane, a perfectly working airplane. So in my opinion, if you can get it, definitely go for it. Because when else are you going to jump out of an airplane and get paid to do it? You normally have to pay someone else to do it, and you're attached to them. So it's going to be a tandem jump. So the plane pulls on your cord and manually automatically pulls your chute for you. So it's automated, but you're doing it by yourself. So I think that's pretty cool. So in my opinion, if you can do airborne, go for it. I was sent to airborne school, but my leadership fudged up. It didn't tell me I needed to finger up the poop chute as part of the airborne medical. So I got there. They closed the door at noon, and they said, do not open the door. If you got in this room, you are in the clear if otherwise eligible. And the first thing they asked me when I got to the table is, do you have your airborne medical? I said, I have a medical, but I don't know what you mean by airborne medical. And he says, well, it's got to be stamped airborne. I said, no, I don't have that. And then he said to me, because this is right before holiday block leave, and I wouldn't be able to stay until the next class. So he said, did you fly or did you drive? Because you ain't staying here. And I said, I flew. And he says, do you want the window or the aisle? I'm like, you mother flower. Anyway, so your boy never got sent back. So that was a dub. But yeah. So if you can go, definitely go. Whether or not it's worth the money, I don't know. I don't know if there's a bonus attached to it, but yeah. That's not for me. Atlanta Maps was very charitable to me. My recruiter and I were both shocked. That's great. I'm in Utah. Hopefully Maps passes me. Well, good luck. Hyper says, are you able to reserve a job or do you have to discuss that at Maps? Maps handles that for us. There was an article posted in the 7th stating that the Army is cutting 20,000 airborne troops, only giving Special Forces, Ranger, 106 SOAR, and many units in the Pacific Reserve National Guard. Yeah, I haven't read that, but if you want to DM me that link to the article, that'd be pretty cool. Or let me know where I can find it and take it from there. Anakin says, in airborne school, do you have your chute pulled by the airplane? Yes, it's a tandem jump, so it automatically pulls your chute for you. No, you're not doing it yourself, so it's not manual. This person says, I'm a staff sergeant, recently promoted in September last year. I was part of promotions that only required BLC for E6 and was looked at my records one day and it said staff sergeant, feeling the weight, but I'm doing my best. That's all you can do. Just do your best. Take care of your soldiers. That's it. But if you have the ability and the option to go to ALC or whatever the equivalent is today, go to E6 leadership school. All right. I did my senior leadership back in like 2012 or 2004. Yeah, I want to say 2012. I think that was my last leadership school. Sierra says, I've been talking to an Army recruiter. I meet with him on Friday. Well, good luck into the meeting. But again, it takes about 30 to 45 days to get discharged from the DEP program. Blake says, I'm in Utah also and hoping my previous severe reaction to wasps when I was younger doesn't set me back, but an updated allergy test shows that I only have a low minor abnormal reaction. Oh, so you'll be good. That's an easy medical waiver if it gets to that. Zenny says, I want airborne air assault school, but I don't know if that's even possible for musicians to go. Probably not, but you can always ask for it. Andrew says, what to bring to basic training? My recruiter said I need to bring, no, do not bring 3 casual clothes. Watch my video here. The clothes on your back and maybe 2 to 3 extra t-shirts, socks, and underwear, and that is it. All right? That is it. Watch my video. Hyper says, are you forced to pick a job at Maps that's available in New York City, or can you come back another time? Well, we lock you in for a job, and as long as there's a training seat available, then that's the job you're getting in the unit that you're in. So if you're going National Guard, that's how it works. So let me know. Appreciate you. Are you still a drill sergeant, or do you only do recruiting now? My full-time job is a recruiter, and on the weekends at the National Guard Recruit Sustainment Program, during their drill weekend, I serve as a drill sergeant. So full-time job is recruiter, part-time job is drill sergeant. Worst thing about reception is hurry up and wait. Oh yeah. And does basic actually start when you get dropped off by your drill sergeants? So when you get to basic training, that following Tuesday or Wednesday is the start date of your basic training experience. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all next week. Hopefully 0 technical difficulties. So I appreciate your all's time, your donations, your super chats, and all that good stuff. Much love. Appreciate you. And if you do need to get some questions answered, you can shoot me a direct message on Instagram coming into the chat box now. You can actually comment your questions beneath the video, not the super or the chat box here, but beneath the video. And within the next 24 to 48 hours, I will get back to you as soon as possible. But with that being said, again, I appreciate you. Kool-Aid, did you read? Yeah, I read your super chat already. Oh, hang on. I missed it. Is the Army Combat Fitness Test performed on Fort Drum or duty station? So you're going to do an Army Combat Fitness Test throughout basic training and AIT or OSUTS, and shortly after you get to your unit of assignment, wherever it is that you have your duty station. And if it is Fort Drum, then yes, you'll do it at Fort Drum for sure. Amen, JG. Appreciate that. Thank you. You're very welcome, guys. Does that answer your question, Kool-Aid? I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you for the super chat. You're very welcome, guys. Just waiting for Kool-Aid to respond. Appreciate the hashtag Team Swartz. Hashtag Team Swords. I'm loving it. Appreciate y'all. Kool-Aid says yes. Thank you. Just got out of the formation coach check. Gotcha. All right. Well, appreciate y'all. If you guys are just tuning in, the stream is over, but you can shoot me a direct message right here at Team Swartz on Instagram, or comment your questions down below beneath the video, not here in the chat box, and I'll get to you in the next 24 hours or so. And yes, get some sleep, Kool-Aid. Appreciate you. Thank y'all. Stay blessed, be good, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.